I'm Yolande Porier from Oracle Technology Network, and I'm here today at Devoxx UK talking to Attila Szegedi. Mm-hmm. Hi, Attila.
Hi.
So, Attila, tell us what you do for Oracle.
All right. Well, I'm an engineer, formerly a principal member of technical staff. That I work at the Java LangTools group, which comprises people working on the compiler, the language, the libraries, and a few other things. And my work is in the few other things category, which right now is writing a new JavaScript runtime for JDK 8. Java, since Java 6 is shipping with the scripting environment in it, and it used to be Mozilla's Rhino JavaScript runtime, which was an open source runtime that Oracle appropriated for using the JDK, but for various reasons we felt the need that to actually implement one from the scratch, and that's what we are doing now. And this is the project that's known as Nashorn.
So where are we right now with Nashorn?
Well, we are in a fairly good spot right now with the project. It is slated to ship with JDK 8 this fall or whenever it ships. We are feature and specification compliant completely. We are targeting the newest version of the JavaScript specification, actually the ECMA script specification 5.1, and it comes with a test suite of some 11.5 thousand tests, and Nashorn is passing 100% of those tests, and to my best knowledge it is the only JavaScript runtime in existence that actually passes all of those tests. So we are fairly proud of having achieved that. And now that we are fully functional, the next front that we are battling on is squeezing as much performance as we can out of this thing.
So last weekend you had an event organized by the London Java user group.
Yes.
And so how did it go?
Oh, it was quite fabulous. It was it was advertised as Nashorn Hackathon, and it was the first event of this kind organized ever. It coincided quite nicely with the first release of Nashorn in JDK, because just this weekend we released JDK 8 early access release build 82, and that's the first one that actually has Nashorn integrated in it. So we had this event where we basically had the participants come in with their own laptops. They were either given USB sticks or DVD discs with the source code to the OpenJDK and the Nashorn, or they could just pull the currently live repo. We worked with them to have them build OpenJDK and Nashorn, and then start playing with it. It was mostly independent assisted kind of work. So myself was there. We had Ben Summers from the Java user community there, and Ben Evans, and we were mostly there to help people troubleshoot their issues. But we gave them hints as to what they might be doing. But they were doing a lot of interesting things. We got a very nice tutorial of how to integrate Nashorn into your Eclipse projects. We got somebody was taking the module system that's being used in most modern JavaScript frameworks that require JS, and adopted it to actually run with Nashorn. We had people who were just experimenting with writing Java programs that integrate Nashorn in it. So they were writing something in Java, and then their Java program was calling into JavaScript, passing variables to and from. They were measuring compilation times for the scripts. We had one person who, aside from building the OpenJDK and Nashorn, he also built the Google's V8 runtime, and then he was running some performance benchmarks against comparing the two. So overall, we had a lot of interesting projects. They resulted in a lot of lessons learned for them and for myself as well. So this was really good, because I left the event with a list of 7-8 items, smaller bug fixes, feature requests, and other things. And for me, it provided a really, really good understanding of how people will probably be using this project in the future, and this still can influence some of our design decisions down the road. So it was really, really helpful. I'm absolutely glad that Ben and the Java user community decided to organize this. It was absolutely worth attending.
So can also individuals contribute to the project?
Yes, absolutely. Nashorn is in the usual OpenJDK repo, so the Mercurial repo for the OpenJDK, it has a separate so-called forest that is Nashorn, and the contribution guidelines are the same contribution guidelines as are they for any other part of OpenJDK. So if you have an Oracle contributor agreement already, you can just submit patches to us. If you don't have it, you can sign it, and then you can start contributing patches to us. And to be honest, we would really be happy to have a lot of community involvement. We would like people contributing tests. We would like having people contributing maybe a browser emulation framework. There is a bunch of libraries that we don't provide. We provide the basic runtime, as we should, but things that a typical browser APIs, a Canvas, HTML5 audio, and so on, that are these days are being used to build nice interactive applications. We don't have them, but obviously we could have all of those working on top of the Java libraries, Java APIs. So, I think people should consider that as a challenge, and we would be more than happy to see as many people as we can coming with their ideas to the project. So, yes.
And the project is open source since December, right?
Yes, it was pretty much a Christmas present to the community. We managed to open source it on the last work day before the Christmas holidays. So, yep. Yeah, it's open source. It's out there. Anybody can download the source and inspect it, play with it, modify it, and submit patches.
Thank you for talking to us today.
All right, it was my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great.
Right.
Yeah.